A young Spanish greyhound, Alex. He had been used and discarded after his hunting days were over. But when Alex was found, he was barely holding on to life. His body shattered, his back legs severely injured, and his spirit battered by the cruelty of his past. What will the rescue team do to save him? And can Alex overcome the mountain of obstacles standing in his way? Stay tuned for today's story on Pets in Love and find out how this brave dog's journey to recovery unfolds. Alex's story begins in the harsh, unforgiving world of Spanish hunting. He was just a 2-year-old greyhound, bred for one purpose: to run fast and catch prey. But as with many dogs born into this cruel system, his life wasn't filled with the love and care that all dogs deserve. Instead, it was a life of pain, abandonment, and abuse. When Alex was found, he had already endured much more than any dog should. His body was shattered. His back leg, badly injured from an old accident or perhaps a deliberate act of cruelty, was severely fractured. There was no muscle left around the knee, and a constant infection raged beneath the surface. He had arthritis so bad that every step was a painful reminder of the life he'd lived. His spirit was bruised, and his body was broken, but the resilience of this dog was already beginning to show through. The rescue team at AUCMA, a group of compassionate volunteers and animal lovers dedicated to saving dogs like Alex, took him in. They were devastated by his condition, but they knew they couldn't give up on him. They promised to return to him the dignity that had been taken from him and help him recover. When Alex first arrived at the shelter, he was understandably cautious, his body language speaking volumes about the trauma he had endured. At first, he was wary, his body language speaking volumes about the abuse he had suffered. He had no desire to interact with anyone and remained distant, unsure of whether he could trust again. But little by little, they began to earn his trust. The volunteers provided him with soft bedding, fresh food, and gentle hands to soothe him. For the first time in a long while, Alex experienced kindness. His medical journey was long and complicated. Multiple tests were performed by 2 different traumatologists to assess the damage to his leg. The diagnosis wasn't easy to hear. The leg had suffered multiple fractures, and the knee joint had deteriorated to the point of no return. There was no muscle left to support it, and the pain he endured daily was unbearable. After much deliberation, the decision was made to amputate the leg. The cost of the surgery was steep, €700, money that the rescue team didn't have up front. To raise the necessary funds for the surgery, AUCMA turned to the community. They shared Alex's story with the public, asking for donations to help cover the cost of his amputation. What followed was nothing short of magical. The response was overwhelming. People from all walks of life, some familiar with the rescue and others moved by Alex's story, came together to fund his surgery. Strangers donated what they could, and within a short time, enough money had been raised to pay for the procedure. Alex's surgery was scheduled, and the AUCMA team breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, the pain that had plagued him for so long could be removed. The day of the surgery was tense, but Alex was a trooper, his resilience shining through. After the amputation, he was given time to rest and recover. But the healing process wasn't just physical, it was emotional as well. The recovery process was both challenging and heartwarming. Alex was kept under close supervision, and volunteers helped him adjust to life with 3 legs. At first, he was understandably cautious, unsure of how to move with his new physical limitations. But AUCMA's team was patient, always encouraging him to take small steps forward. The shelter staff would walk him outside every day, slowly building up his strength. Even when he was in pain, Alex never gave up. As the weeks went by, something remarkable began to happen. Despite his past, Alex's spirit began to shine through. He adapted quickly to life on 3 legs, and with each passing day, he grew stronger. The joy in his eyes was unmistakable. He began to walk with more confidence, exploring the fields around the shelter. He even started to run, a 3-legged greyhound gracefully moving through the grass as if he had never known pain. Alex's transformation was nothing short of miraculous. One of his closest friends at the shelter was Vita, a puppy who had been taken in around the same time. Despite their age difference, the bond between Alex and Vita was undeniable. Vita, full of energy and youthful exuberance, found comfort in Alex's calm, steady presence. Alex, in turn, showed Vita the patience that he had never been shown, teaching her in the unspoken way dogs do. They played together, napped together, and even got into mischief together. They were inseparable, and their friendship became a source of comfort and joy for everyone who witnessed it. On days when the weather was warm, the volunteers would open the gate to the secure field behind the shelter, letting Alex and Vita run free. The sight of Alex moving with surprising agility on 3 legs was breathtaking. Though he had been through so much, he ran with a grace that defied the trauma he had suffered. Vita darted around him, and for a few precious moments, Alex seemed to forget his past pain. He chased her, his tail wagging, enjoying the freedom that he had never known. Watching them together was a beautiful reminder that even after the hardest trials, there was still room for love, joy, and connection. But like all good things, their time together was short. Vita was soon adopted by a loving family, and Alex, though saddened by the loss of his friend, continued to grow stronger. His time at the shelter had given him the tools he needed to trust again, and now he was ready for the next chapter of his life. One where he would no longer be defined by his past. But as with all good things, their time together was limited. Vita, too, was destined for a better life, and soon she was adopted. Alex, though heartbroken to see his little friend go, continued his journey with the same quiet grace. He had learned to trust again, to love again, and now he was ready to take the next step into a future that was once unimaginable for him. And then, a miracle happened. Carlos and Lidia, a loving couple from Cadiz, traveled 1,260 kilometers in a weekend to adopt Alex. They had seen his story, and they knew they had to meet him. When they arrived at the shelter and saw Alex for the first time, it was love at first sight. They understood that this 3-legged greyhound, who had already been through so much, was the perfect dog for them. The adoption was a dream come true, not just for Alex, but for the family who had chosen him. "How lucky you are, Alex," they said. "Be very happy and make the most of this second chance life has given you. So many would wish for it." Alex's new life with Carlos and Lidia was everything he had dreamed of. Gone were the days of pain, neglect, and abandonment. Instead, Alex had found a family who loved him unconditionally. His new life was filled with warmth, affection, and adventure. Carlos and Lidia took Alex on his first walk around the park, where he confidently trotted on 3 legs, his tail wagging with excitement. He no longer needed to walk in the shadows of pain and fear. He was free. On weekends, they took Alex to the countryside, where he could run in the fields, his spirits soaring as high as his legs could carry him. He had become a dog full of joy, living life to the fullest. As for the AUCMA team, they couldn't have been more grateful. Alex's journey was a reminder of the incredible power of compassion and the difference that a community can make. They had seen a dog in need and rallied together to save him. Alex was no longer the broken greyhound that had been discarded. He was a hero, a symbol of resilience and love. Now, Alex's life was full of new beginnings. He had a loving family, a warm bed, and a future full of adventures. And every time he ran, his 3 legs carrying him with a joy that was impossible to ignore, he reminded everyone that even the greatest challenges could be overcome with love, hope, and a little bit of magic. Alex, the once forgotten greyhound, had found his happily ever after. And in doing so, he made the world a little brighter, one joyful step at a time. That's the end of the story today. Alex's journey is a testament to the incredible resilience of animals and the power of compassion. From the brink of despair to finding a loving home, his transformation is nothing short of miraculous. But this is just one of many stories that need our attention and care. What do you think of Alex's journey? Do you believe in second chances? We'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. Thank you for watching till the end. If you find our video interesting, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. Finally, don't forget to turn on our bell and subscribe to our channel Pets in Love so you don't miss any of our new videos. Thank you for your support. Wishing you all peace, happiness, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.